I remember back in, I don't know, 1969, something like that. And Leon Russell, I do believe he carried a Colt 45. And because it was just, I don't know, people, I can't remember what it was for. He's going into, I don't know if it's, whatever it was he was doing it for. He grew up, he's born in Oklahoma, so it was nothing to him. And then there was a bunch, one of his, I don't know if one of his recordings, I can't remember what it was, but I think one of his recordings, he started getting a crowd of people. I mean, he was famous back. I think I seen him on Ed Sullivan back in like '63 or '4. Anyway, but I think pretty sure he used to carry a 45 Colt revolver. And this group, these people started clambering around him for some reason. They said, "Well, we're going to make you rich, or we could make you rich if you get rid of the gun." And he was like, "Man, there ain't no way I'm getting rid of it." And they just kept pestering. I don't know how they talked him into it, but he apparently threw it in a lake in Oklahoma somewhere. Now, whether some guys seen where he threw it, they was there when he did it, and they was like, "I'm gonna get that gun. If he's throwing it away, I'm gonna get it because it's gonna be mine, and it's finders keepers." So whoever it was, I don't know if they dove in after it, found it. But I think he wrote a song. He's something about going back to Oklahoma, and I think it was to get his gun because I don't know if he'd ran into a bunch of idiots. I don't know. I don't know if he's in dealing with some rough people or what. But anyway, he's that's one of the people that got rid of guns, and they do that for money. Now, my guess is all these movie stars. Baldwin doesn't look like a person. He looks like somebody that carried like a 1911 or something like that. I'm just saying, but somebody must have approached him and said, "Hey, I bet I'm almost betting that he carried one when he was younger." And then somebody said, "Hey, we'll make you rich if you don't carry a gun." And he's, I don't know whether it's the same thing. Well, I don't, I like whatever reason. And so they maybe shoved money at him or something to get him to quit carrying a gun and the more money he made, then he started voicing his protest against carrying guns. But the only reason he was doing it, or they was doing it, I didn't ever hear Leon Russell say anything about not carrying a gun. But anyway, uh, the only reason Baldwin would talk out is because maybe they was paying money. Now this movie, I'm wondering if they approached him. He said, "I'm going to do this movie with a gun," and maybe they were saying, "Well, we want you to protest movies with guns." Maybe they might have said they might have went that far, and he said, "No." Maybe he just said, "No, I'm doing this movie." And so the way they work, they're like witches and stuff. And I know you don't. People, there's no such thing as witch. Well, if you ever been around smoke and mirrors, there's people that can whisper in another person's ear and get them to do something, and you didn't even see him whisper, and then that person, somebody you've never met, does something, and you're like, "Well, why are they, either turning against you, or they're rooting for you?" And so what they probably did is they started rooting against him. Everybody else is rooting against him because he's a anti 2A, but he just doesn't look like an anti 2. His family doesn't look like anti 2A. But I'm guessing he's doing that because he's making a bunch of money by being anti 2A. Anyway, so he said, "I'm doing this movie," and they swapped and swapped it around. And like they've been doing to all these active shooters, they got in his head, made a mistake or whatever, made the wrong, they can get in your head, they get in somebody's head if they're catch them alone. It's like a corner bull. You can have a big giant bull, and if these people know how to work a corner bull, then they're going to be able to catch a corner bull make other people say, "Wow, that was easy for them." And I'll guarantee you, all these anti 2A people are causing all these mass shootings and stuff. And just because it's their basis of There's so many reasons that's the reason it's happening, because the government started going against an uninfringible amendment. And everybody thought, well, if they're doing it, well, we can do it. And so they just went crazy. And I'm guessing that's how, that's what caused Baldwin to do this. Or who knows? Maybe he's always wanted to do it, whatever. But I'm saying there's another version, but because he don't look like he's a anti-2A, although he is, and every time he says it, it's like, wow, that guy didn't. His brothers don't look like it. His one brother's a preacher, but I don't know, man. Anyway. That's my take on the situation of what's causing all these movie stars that do all these action films to be anti-2A, and they do these action films with guns. So I'm guessing these people approach them to say, be anti-2A and you'll make more money and we'll see this and that and the other. Who they are, who these behind the scenes people are, I don't know. But anyway.